Hello everybody, let's can some peaches. How about that? I've got about 10 pounds of really nice peaches from our own Rancho tree, and if you haven't seen it, please subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. You can see the picking of the peaches. So it's really my first time canning in a kind of a big way. I'm going to be using the pint jars today because living single by myself, I don't really have the opportunity. I like things in single serving size, so it seems like the best size to use for me. I have the jars in the dishwasher now running through. Want to make sure they stay in there, stay hot before we start to pack. Well, let's talk about some of the things that I have here and they're going to be used in the canning process. This is not going to be pressure canning. And I need to give a special shout out to my wonderful friend Mouse Toes, who is a prepper extraordinaire, really a homesteader, and she sent me wonderful directions and took time to really type out some things to help me. Have to do things safely. This is not going to be pressure can, these peaches. It's going to be hot water bath here. And everything's got to be done in a sterile way, and we'll talk about that as we go along. We're going to pack these peaches in a light syrup. So let's drop back a minute and see what we have here. I mentioned that I have my jars in there. They're a Mason type. They're not a brand name. They're an off. I thought that they were brand name, but they're not. But we got to go with what we got to go with, and there's the lids to them. And I'm going to be washing them with soap and water later. And then before you seal it, you have to make sure to wipe the top of the jar, around the rim with some vinegar, and also on the bottom of the seal there to make sure you get a good sanitary seal. So thank you, Mouse Toast. I have water boiling because to me the hardest part of the process is you've got to take the skin off of the apples and dipping them for 30 seconds. And letting them to stay in there, and then pulling them out. It makes it very easy to pull the skin off. I have a big pot, my new Presto here, and that's filled up a lot. This is going to be the water bath here for processing. So what I'm going to do first is get to work, and let's take the skin off of these peaches here. I've gone ahead and dropped the peaches in, so I'm going to wait about 30 seconds. That makes the skin really easy to get off, and then I'll carefully lift them out. I'll put them into the wok here, which has been cleaned, and we'll use that as a working area, and then put the finished product over here. Got one batch done there, and now I'm working on the rest of them. We'll see how easy it is for the skin to come off. Check and see how easy, the skin just comes right off. Putting the skin in a separate bowl. They say you can put a little X at the top too, and that helps in the peeling process. So I'm kind of pulling this off as one big piece here. Yeah, and that that worked super well. There we go. So I only have 10,000 more peaches to do. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. This is the fun part, right? They don't pay you enough money for this part of it. So, but luckily, yeah, that skin just peels right off, and not a very difficult process there. Okay, there, first 4 in the bowl. And there's our batch there. I think I'm gonna do some more while I have the heart to do it here. So I'm gonna cover this with some plastic. I'm gonna be packing these peaches in a light syrup, which is 2 1/4 cups of sugar, white sugar, and 5 1/4 cups of water. So I'm going to go ahead now. I've already got my sugar measured out. I'm going to go ahead and add my 5 1/2 cups, 5 1/4 cups. 1, 2, 3. Hope you're enjoying the process. I'm tired of peeling peaches. 4. 5. And we got 1/4 of 1 cup right there. All right. There is our simple syrup. We're going to bring that up, bring the heat up on that to get that good and mixed. And ultimately, we're going to be cutting the peaches in half. You can see I've got additional ones that I did here that I have covered. We're going to be cutting them in half and then packing them stone where the little curve is, where the inset is, where the stone goes. We're going to put that upside down. And then we're going to fill that with syrup and clean the tops real well. Use a little vinegar, white vinegar on a paper towel to really get things clean around the rim and then set it good. I'm going to be washing the lids with soap and water and making sure that they're really clean. Okay, and I'm just waiting. I'm going to make sure I can pull these hot out of the dishwasher when we're ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this syrup up to temperature and get this all mixed here. See, the sugar's dissolved, and we're going to bring that to an initial boil here and then just turn it off and let it sit. But when it's time to do the packing, we'll take it up to a boil again. Our jars are steaming good and hot. The lids are all washed. I flip-flopped them, like Mouse Toe says. You put a lid up and down, and it becomes easier to get it out and do the packing. So let's go ahead and start doing some jars. We're going to put the peaches in for about 1 minute into the hot syrup, and then we're going to take a slotted spoon and pack the jars. Our jars are looking pretty. They've been syrup bathed. Now we're just bringing our syrup up to a boil, and we've got to be very careful. We're going to maintain our half-inch head space here. Delicious. Okay, they're all packed. All the rims wiped real well and all around the tops with the vinegar. The tops lid centered and screwed down to a resistance and then finger tight. So it's time to start our water bath here. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not sure I'm going to get them all in the first go round. Here we are. I got them all in. That's underwater. There, we've got 10 of them, and as long as the top is under about 1 inch of water, which that is, so they all got in there. So we're going to bring this up to a boil. This is going to sanitize the whole operation. So it's very important that it go the full 20 minutes once it boils. In case you're wondering the process I use, you can cold pack or you can do a hot pack. I chose to do the hot pack, which lets the peaches shrink a little bit before it heats them up through in the syrup. And then you pack it after that into the jars. It kind of shrinks it a little bit, and I think makes it a little more efficient. Because instead of 12, we've got 10 pints here. So I'm just waiting for this to come up to a boil. After these stop boiling for 5 minutes, going to lift them out here and put them on a rack over there to cool off. So I think this thing is essential for lifting. Pretty cool. Ball. Just remember too, this is not a pressure canning operation. This is just water bath for 20 minutes, but it's going to take a while for this to come up to boil, principally because you have a lot of mass inside of these jars that has to be raised up to allow this to fully boil. So you have to be patient. I've been putting the lid on and off a little bit to hasten it, but we're getting close to the boil. You can hear it inside. We are boiling away. So let's check the clock. We've got 20 minutes at 1:37. In case you didn't know what a boil is, that's a boil. Alright. 6 minutes down, 14 to go. In 20 minutes, we turn this off and we let things just rest for 5 minutes, and then we'll give you the grand finale, what you've been waiting for. Over on the rack. Steam it up. And there is the finished product. And I think it's sanitary as can be. And I think it'll be safe having gone through all those steps. Now I did accidentally drop a jar. I had to grab her and it kind of exploded on the bottom there. But nobody's perfect. So there it is, canned Rancho peaches. Special shout out and thank you to my wonderful friend and moderator Mouse Toes. You will see the link to her channel in the description box. Thanks so much everybody, and thumbs up are appreciated.